In the dead of night, a trusted bank guard vanished with $5 million, fleeing across Willow Lake in an inflatable boat, leaving behind a trail of lies that would haunt Glenwood for decades. But what if the escape was a cover for something darker? The Bank Vault, July 17th, 1987, 23:10. The fluorescent lights hummed faintly in the Glenwood Savings Bank vault. Andrew Harlan, uniform crisp despite the late hour, glanced at the clock. His calloused hands steadied as he unlocked the armored door. Peter Klein, wiping sweat from his brow, nodded from the doorway. "All clear, Andy. Shift's almost over." Andrew forced a smile, his mind racing with his plan's weight. Inside, 5 duffel bags held $5 million from the day's armor truck delivery. Andrew's pulse quickened. Freedom at last. He sliced open hidden compartments in the bags with a small tool. One bag felt lighter than expected. Archive, grainy security photo, time-stamped 2312. Bag stacked, shadows hinting at uneven bulk. Andrew paused, breath shallow. Had someone tampered already? A detail that nagged, unnoticed. The escape route, July 17th, 1987, 23:45. The summer night carried the scent of lake water from Willow Lake. Andrew dragged the bags to the loading dock, boots scraping concrete. The inflatable boat, hidden in his truck bed, inflated with a low hiss. Peter appeared, flashlight in hand. "Need help loading?" His voice held curiosity. Andrew shook his head. "Routine check. Go home, Pete." Peter lingered, eyeing the boat. Odd night for boating. Andrew's grip tightened. "Trust no one." He shoved the bags into the boat, pushing off into dark water. Paddles cut silently through ripples. Town lights faded. A distant engine hummed mid-lake. Pursuit or imagination? Shoreline fog swallowed his silhouette. Transcript. Andrew's recorder, later recovered. "If this works, no more chains. But if not, forgive me, Sarah." Static cuts in. Regret mixed with exhilaration. Did Peter know? One glance could unravel it. The alarm triggers, July 18th, 1987, 0:15. Sirens pierced the night as cruisers converged on the bank. Mark Riley, rubbing sleep from his eyes, arrived first. The vault door hung open, empty shells mocking them. Bank manager Elias Grant paced, face pale. Harlan was last here. Riley nodded, notepad out. Signs of force? None. Clean entry. Bags gone. Whispers started. "Inside job." Sarah Harlan got the call, hands trembling. "Dad? Missing." Her voice broke. The man who raised her? A thief? Riley interviewed Peter. Seemed normal. Mentioned boating. Peter shrugged, avoiding eyes. Archive. Police report, page 3. Klein reports no unusual activity. Boat mentioned. Ink smudged. Riley frowned. Boating at midnight? What hid beneath the surface? The Lake Search, July 18th, 1987, 6:30. Divers plunged into Willow Lake's murky depths, bubbles rising like secrets. Boats crisscrossed, engines droning. Riley stood on the dock, coffee steaming. They found the deflated boat on the far shore. No box, no body. He crossed and vanished. A diver reported, hauling wet rubber. Community murmurs grew. Harlan? One of us. Shock turned to anger. Sarah arrived, eyes red. He wouldn't leave. Evidence mounted. Truck at the dock, keys in ignition. Peter joined the crowd, quiet. Andy was reliable. His words rang hollow. A volunteer found a paddle, scratched like a code. Transcript. Radio dispatch. Boat recovered. No cash. Suspect at large. Wind howls. Highly scoot twisted. Too perfect. A scratch whispered more. Silence. Community backlash. July 19th, 1987. 1400 hours. Town hall buzzed. Air thick with coffee and tension. Mayor Harlan, Norilasjan, spoke. "We'll find him. Justice for Glenwood." Sarah clutched a photo of Andrew. "Debts?" "No." Whispers said otherwise. "Pension short. House payments late." Riley stated, "Lone actor. Fled via boat. Likely to Canada." Evidence. Boat path traced. No accomplices. Peter testified. He acted alone. His hands fidgeted. Ethan Rowe, Andrew's army buddy approached Riley. Saw Andy with gear days before. Pump bags. Thought fishing. Archive. Ethan's statement. Harlan mentioned one last trip. Ford F-150 loaded oddly. Paper yellowed. Riley noted. 5 bags reported. Boat capacity for 4? Numbers didn't match. The official closure. August 5th, 1987. 10 o'clock. Weeks passed. Searches yielded nothing. Riley filed a report. Desk littered with maps. Case cold, he muttered. Media called it the Lake Vanish Heist. Bank insured. Trust shattered. Sarah stared at the lake. Where are you, Dad? Loneliness gripped her. Peter retired quietly. It's over. A receipt sat overlooked. Hardware store, pump and rope, day before. Riley dismissed it. Too mundane. Transcript. Ethan's clip. Andy said, hide in plain sight. Laugh. Tape hisses. A hidden layer? The receipt would connect dots. A lingering doubt. September 12th, 1987, 21:45. Riley drove through rain-slick streets, wipers thumping. Boat escape flashy but inefficient. Ethan called. Found a tape from Andy's visit. Grainy footage. Andrew inflating a boat. Background, a shadow. Archive, video still, blurry outline near truck, 2047, dusty cassette. Riley froze. Not alone. Who was the shadow? Phone rang. Anonymous tip. Check the manager's accounts. Later, one mismatch cracked the facade. The first crack, October 3rd, 1987, 1520 evidence room, dim and dusty. Riley flipped pages. Receipt. 2 boats. Peter stopped by. Still on it. Riley eyed him. Loose ends. Sarah confronted Peter at a cafe. Anything. Peter hesitated. Regrets. Debts. His fear grew. His cut hidden. Ledger anomaly. Pre-heist transfer. Transcript call. Pete, it's done. Meet at dock. Voice familiar. Twist incoming. Boat was a decoy. Silence. Scene. The hidden compartment. November 15th, 1987, 11 o'clock. Divers revisited the lake. Riley's hunch. Mud stirred. They surfaced with a bag. Empty. False bottom. Note. Diversion complete. Community gasped. He planned deeper. Sarah read it. Tears falling. Dad, why? Peter paled. His involvement? Archive. Note photo. Smeared ink. Look elsewhere. Torn edges. Riley smiled grimly. Smarter escape. 1 bag missing. Where? A cassette waited untouched. Subscribe to not miss part 2. Write in the comments where you're watching from. The Cold Case Unit. March 3rd, 1999, 9:15. The Glenwood Police Department's cold case unit smelled of dust and old coffee. Laura Vance, now a detective, sifted through a box of 1987 case files. Her fingers brushed a dusty cassette labeled Harlan Evidence. She frowned, recalling the boat heist. 12 years cold, she muttered. This case had lingered too long. She loaded the tape into a Panasonic RQ, 2105 player. Static crackled. Then Andrew's voice. Pete, it's done. Meet at the dock. Archive. Cassette case. Faded label. Edges worn from neglect. Laura paused. Peter Klein? The loyal colleague? A detail that shifted everything. Reopening the case. March 4th, 1999, 14:30. Laura met Mark Riley, now retired, at a diner on Maple Street. His hands shook slightly, gripping a coffee mug. That tape changes things, he admitted. Laura spread out files. The receipt for 2 boats, the ledger anomaly, the note saying look elsewhere. The boat was a decoy, she said. Riley nodded. Always felt staged. They agreed to re-interview witnesses. Sarah Harlan was first. I need to know why, Sarah said, voice steady but eyes distant. Her pain anchored Laura's resolve. Why had Andrew lied to everyone? Something bigger loomed. The old witness, March 6th, 1999, 10 o'clock. Peter Klein lived in a modest Glenwood apartment, walls lined with faded photos. Laura knocked, badge in hand. Peter's eyes darted. Haven't thought about Andy in years. Laura pressed. You heard him on the tape. Meet at the dock. Peter's hands trembled. Just talk. Nothing more. Transcript. Interview recording. I saw him load the boat. Thought he was fishing. Pause. Didn't ask questions. Laura noted his sweat. Lies? She left, but a neighbor mentioned Peter's late-night walks to the lake. Suspicion grew. Was Peter hiding cash? A shadow moved in his story. The bank manager's secret. March 10th, 1999, 1645. Laura dug into Elias Grant, the 1987 bank manager, now deceased. Old bank records showed a $50,000 transfer to an offshore account days before the heist. Elias was clean, Riley had said then. Laura wasn't so sure. She found a photo in the archives, Elias shaking hands with a man in a suit, Doc in the background. Archive, Polaroid, timestamp July 15th, 1987. Edges curled, Doc faintly visible. The man looked familiar. Linked to a Chicago crime syndicate? Laura's heart raced. A bigger network? This wasn't just Andrew's plan. Who pulled the strings? Ethan's revelation. March 15th, 1999, 11:20. Ethan Rowe, Andrew's army buddy, met Laura at his garage. Found another tape, he said, handing over a VHS. The grainy footage showed Andrew and a stranger near the bank's drainage tunnel, not the dock. He never used the boat, Ethan whispered. Told me it was a distraction. Laura's mind spun. The tunnel led to the river, not the lake. Transcript. Ethan's interview. Andy said, they'll chase the boat, not me. Smirked like he'd won. The note, look elsewhere, made sense. Andrew had outsmarted everyone. But where was the fifth bag? A new layer cracked open. Community echoes. March 20th, 1999, 1900 hours. Glenwood buzzed again, whispers reviving the old wound. Laura visited Sarah at her classroom. Your dad used the tunnel, not the lake. Sarah's face crumpled. He planned it all. Her voice broke. The town's trust, shattered in '87, bled anew. Laura found a 1987 city blueprint in a library. A drainage tunnel from the bank to Willow River. Archive, blueprint, yellowed, marked Glenwood Utilities, 1975. Tunnel path circled in faded ink. Andrew's escape route. Clever. Laura felt a chill. Had Peter known about the tunnel? His silence screamed guilt. The pressure mounts. April 2nd, 1999, 8:30. Laura confronted Peter again. You were at the dock. Why? Peter's face paled. I didn't take anything. His voice cracked. Laura showed the tape transcript. You spoke to him. Peter slumped. He owed me. Gambling debts. Said he'd cut me in. Transcript. Peter's confession. Andy promised $100,000. I just looked the other way. Staticus. Laura's jaw tightened. Peter was no mastermind, just weak. But the syndicate connection nagged. A call came. Stop digging, Vance. Her pulse spiked. Who was watching? A deeper web tightened. The syndicate shadow. April 10th, 1999, 22:15. Laura traced the offshore account to a shell company tied to Chicago. Records showed Elias had met a man named Vincent Cole, a known syndicate fixer, in 1987. A photo from Ethan's tape matched Cole's description. Archive, fax police file. Vincent Cole, suspected money laundering, 1980s. Mugshot creased. Andrew hadn't acted alone. The syndicate funded the plan, expecting a cut. Laura found a 1987 dock log. Cole's car, a Cadillac Eldorado, parked nearby. He'd watched the heist. Why let Andrew escape? A double cross? The fifth bag held the answer. The final hunt. April 25th, 1999, 6 o'clock. Laura and Riley searched the old drainage tunnel. Flashlights cut through damp darkness, the air heavy with mildew. They found a rusted lockbox, sealed tight. Inside, a ledger page listing syndicate payouts and a note in Andrew's handwriting. I took their share. They'll never find me. Archive, ledger page, ink faded, corners brittle, note in bold script. Andrew had betrayed the syndicate, taking the fifth bag for himself. Laura traced his alias to a small Canadian town. Alive, hiding, she faced a choice, arrest or confront. Her heart leaned toward truth. The confrontation, May 12th, 1999, 1400 hours. Laura found Andrew in a coastal Canadian village. Now James Carter, 90, frail but sharp. His eyes widened at her badge. You found me. No fight left. They sat in his small cabin, waves crashing outside. I didn't want the money, he said. I wanted time. For Sarah. Transcript. Andrew's confession. The syndicate pressured me. I used their plan, took their cut, left her to be free. Laura saw regret in his eyes. Sarah deserved to hear this. Justice wasn't handcuffs, it was answers. Andrew handed her a photo. Him and Sarah, 1975. Tell her I'm sorry. Laura nodded. Closure, not chains. The epilogue, June 1st, 1999, 1730. Sarah received the photo and Andrew's words in Glenwood. Tears fell as she traced his face. He was lost long before the heist. The town learned the truth. Andrew's betrayal. Peter's weakness, the syndicate shadow. Peter faced charges for aiding, but his age spared prison. The fifth bag was never found, likely Andrew's final defiance. Glenwood rebuilt trust slowly, a scar fading but never gone. Laura closed the file, her first cold case solved. Archive. Newspaper clipping. Glenwood heist solved, 1999. Headline bold, edges crisp. Justice felt hollow. Sarah's pain lingered. Silence settled. What do you think? Was this justice? Write your thoughts in the comments.